In this segment, let us go deeper into the question of what is it that you really want? And also, are you really wanting to know the truth, the absolute truth? I spent some time talking about healing relationships. For healing our relationships is very important. So often when we become spiritual seekers, we're looking for an experience of the divine, or ourselves as divine, or for the nature of our soul, or wanting to know who it is that we are. The irony of that is that the personality that we have created is very limited in its ability to experience the divine. Much of our personality is a construct that is there to defend our wound, to defend the depth of feeling that we have not been seen for who we are. And indeed, in the process, we've also forgotten. And it behooves us to remember that we are individuals, we are beings, if you like, that have multiple levels of awareness and multiple levels of consciousness. For example, when we look at the chakra system, each of these, instead of just being mouths that feed on universal energy, on chi or on prana, they're also expressions of our consciousness, of levels of consciousness. And so the first chakra is very much about survival instincts. It is also about procreation, so the impulse to procreate, which is a lot less about sexuality than one would imagine. It is the impulse to reproduce the species. And so our sexuality and our draw to make love, in combination with our heart chakra, that really comes from the second chakra. And so when we look at our own spiritual growth, it is very important that we look at ourselves at the different levels of our awareness and consciousness. For if we simply grasp for transpersonal healing, meaning to know ourselves as the divine, and only that, what often is left behind is our humanity. For when we love God exclusively, and love God more than we love other human beings, we have completely missed the point. However, I would also say that when we love human beings but do not love God, then we never get to see human beings for who they really are. For from my own personal experience, the love of God starts with the love of human beings, the love of ourselves, and then the love of other in relationship. And so our different chakras are expressions of levels of awareness and levels of consciousness. And so we are relational beings. We have a relationship to ourselves. We have a relationship to our family. We have a relationship to our friends, to our lovers, to our partners. We have a relationship to Mother Earth. We have a relationship to the sky, to animals, to pets, to the hills, to the rivers, to plants, to flowers. We are relational beings. Therefore, in seeking personal healing, the emergence of the true self, then it behooves us to examine the nature of our relationships and where we might possibly be entangled. For the entanglements themselves hold us back from the experiences that we are seeking, and for the self-awareness that we are seeking. For self-awareness is also far more valuable than a single spiritual experience that may be indeed very intense. However, if that leads us to continually seek to reproduce that, that in itself can also become a new prison. So let us look at those we have loved. Perhaps you're divorced, or perhaps you have separated from your life partner, your lover. Perhaps this person is also the parent of one or more of your children. Previously, I've said that emotions have a function. And so hatred has a function. So many of my clients have come to me and have said, I hate my ex-husband.